For the first time in history, I did not have any clue what to make for this week's video. So I did the obvious. I took myself out on a walk on this beautiful, bright and sunny day to figure out if nature can inspire me to get an idea for this week. On that note, welcome back to my channel. I tried a lot this week to come up with something, but as they say, you can't force creativity. So I stopped trying after a point. It's a shame not to be able to shoot a great content in this lovely weather, because for all of you who know me, they know I love summer and I love the sun, and it bugs me to not utilize this rare moment of having sunlight abroad. Oh, by the way, it's not to say that I do not have any more ideas. I do, but for the future, can't be executed this week. But I'm going to try anyway. So the idea that I came up at best with for today is how I usually come up with ideas for my YouTube videos and otherwise on my Instagram as well. If you haven't followed it, what are you doing? So let's begin this video. The best way to get any sort of inspiration is to simply observe more, and that's exactly how I get video ideas or any sort of creative inspiration, I would say. Observe better, observe more. The first sort of observation that I do is basically look inwards. That simply translates into me understanding my lifestyle more, my habits better, and what basically stresses me or motivates me, what I like, dislike. Just look inwardsly. And over here, I have to point out that journaling helps a lot because it lets me visualize my day, my week, and I've not gotten to a year. It simply lets me analyze, reflect, and pay close attention to my daily life and behaviors. And if you notice, a lot of my videos are about sharing these reflections that I have about my life. And it's not to say that my life is extraordinary, but I feel self awareness itself is a very relatable thing. And if anybody watching is also in the same situation and surrounding as me, they might just connect with that. The second kind of observation is about noticing the outer world. It's simply observing people around you, how they behave, what they speak of or not speak of. And I have to say that this highly aligns with my marketing career, because social listening is the thing, right? We need to listen to the audience. But anyways, before I get too technical on this, it's just simply noticing the patterns people have in their day-to-day lives. What are the struggles that they're talking the most of? Something that frustrates them, or what do they want to know more of? Relatability is one thing which I did through my first way of finding an inspiration, but relevance builds here when you really listen closely to the people around you, and it's like you will speak their language when you make any content out of it. Okay, this one might be particular to me, but my third way of idea generation is just sharing my personal development journey, aka my growth journey. So, for example, if I'm learning a new mindset, a habit, or a skill, or even trying to unlearn something, I will share my journey with you, not as an expert who has mastered it, because that's not relatable to anybody. If anything, what I have picked up from content creation is that nobody likes the perfected result. Everybody wants to see individual journeys and your stories related to it. So if I am learning something, I try my best to document it and share it over here as authentically as I can. What I tried, what worked, what didn't, and what surprised me maybe, and hoping that somebody benefits out of it, because ultimately it's all about the journey you create and how many people can you take in on that journey with you, so that they also grow and learn alongside you. The fourth and the final one now, it's basically me trying to think of a direction for my future plans and getting some clarity out of it. So through the content that I make, basically the ideas that I get, I'm trying to explore what it would be like if I pursue a certain thing. I'm asking myself critical questions, and that's how I am building a sort of plan, direction for the future. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It might sound similar to sharing my growth journey as I did in the third way that I shared, but the third way is basically sharing what I'm learning right now, whereas this fourth way is basically sharing and trying to think of where I want to go and how will things pan out? What will I do to take me there? What's the path to there? For example, the vision board challenge that I was doing here a few weeks back, it was all about sharing the goals that I have for the future for myself and trying to take you through the journey of what I'm doing to get there, what are my learnings, what are my action steps leading up to there, and what I'm doing to track or report any sort of progress over here online, making myself really vulnerable and transparent about my growth journey and my vision. And also, one thing that I've learned is that speaking of your dreams loud makes it more real for yourself. And also, if you care about others, then also to them. That's the way that I come up with content, I would say. And these are kind of the type of content. You would think that I'm sharing the type of content that I do, but it's also the reason that fuels my idea. Like, if I did not have these plans in my life of what I'm learning right now or where I want to go, or just reflecting about the world and reflecting inwards, then I wouldn't have any idea for my content. And that's how I get ideas for this sort of niche that I have. I don't know if it's one, but yeah. So, what are your ways to get idea? What inspires you? Think. So that's the end of the video, and by now I do realize that it's completely okay to not have ideas every week for my YouTube, because we are human. We can have blocks, and oftentimes we beat ourselves up to the things that we don't get instantly. For example, especially the things that come naturally to us and then one day it stops. So it's completely okay to accept that, because what matters is still showing up like I did. Hopefully, that resonates with you in some way. And yeah, that's my learning for this week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.